Do you ever bluff in multi-way pots? Normally that's a pretty bad idea, and I can tell you that in my 11 years of playing live poker I've rarely tried to bluff multiple opponents, but there is one specific spot where you can do it. So in this video I'm going to show you what this spot is and how to bluff profitably. And if you stick around until the end, I'll also show you how to catch a bluff yourself in a multi-way pot. To show you this bluff in action, let's look at a hand that I recently played at a 1-2. So we're under the gun with ace-deuce of clubs and we're raised to 7, and this is already a little bit of an exploit because normally I like to raise bigger, but when I have a hand that plays well multi-way under the gun and I think that the table is quite passive and won't 3-bet me as a bluff, I like to go a little bit smaller, just reduce the price of admission to see a flop. Here in this case we get called by the low jack, by the high jack, by the button, by the small blind and the big blind. So 6 ways to a flop. Well, this is live low stakes poker at its finest. And here we go with this exploit. So it checks to me at this point. We have bottom pair. We're not going to come out betting. This is not what I mean by bluffing, to bet here with bottom pair against 5 players, but the exploit will come in a moment. So at this point we just check. We hope basically that it checks through and then maybe we can improve on the turn. But it does not check through because now the button bets. But look at this. So the button bets 12 into a pot of 42. The small blind calls, the big blind calls. What should we do here? Call, fold, or raise? I wouldn't want to call. So this is something that some players might do. They just call here in the hope that they will improve on the turn because it's quite cheap. They're getting a good price, but our bottom pair is probably not good. And yes, it is cheap, but there are 2 more players to act behind. Folding would be the normal thing to do with bottom pair and a bit of action here multi-way. We're most likely not good. And here, this is the exploit. This is where you can bluff. It's this exact board and our exact hand that absolutely matter, because how likely is it that someone has a big hand on this board and with this action? And I would argue it is very small for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is, well, the button bet 12 on this very draw heavy board into a pot of 42 to go so small, really not indicative of a big hand. Then the small blind just called that one. The big blind also just called that. So all of these players are pretty capped. Now, it's not impossible that someone is slow playing a big hand, but it's pretty unlikely. And yes, behind us, the 2 players, they are a little more uncapped because they just checked initially, but they could come out with a raise now if we were to call or fold. And here is the second thing, and this one is very important. Normally, I don't care much about blockers in live poker. However, here the blocker is very important. And I'm not talking about the ace of clubs, I'm talking about the deuce that we have. Because, remember, we raised small pre-flop and we got 5 callers. How likely is it that one of them has pocket queens or pocket jacks? I would say very unlikely. Like, it's not totally impossible, but normally they would raise with these hands. And what about pocket deuces? Yeah, totally, they could have pocket deuces, they could just call with pocket deuces, but this is where our blocker really matters, because there is a deuce on the board and we have a deuce, so there are only 2 deuces left in the whole deck, and that means that there is only one combination of pocket deuces that someone might have. And the combination of these 2 factors, one, that no one's really done anything here to suggest that they have a big hand, combined with us having the blocker to the only set that's really possible, that means that most likely nobody has a set. And I would say even Queen Jack is unlikely because of the way this hand has gone. Yes, low jack and high jack might still have that, but I will take that risk here, and I just think no one else has much, so I am going to raise here. I chose 85. I thought at the time this was a pretty good big bet. I should probably go even a little bit bigger just to make sure to fold out even draws here at this point, even though I'm ahead of them. The way it works is, well, the next 2 players fold, which is pretty good, so they were the ones that were still uncapped, and they're out now, and now the button does call. And by the way, when hijack folded, he accidentally turned over his cards. He had 2 red 10s, and then the big blind said, oh, and there go my 2 outs. So he was probably on a draw there, probably something like 9-8, so that was good news. And then small blind folded and big blind folded as well. So we go heads up to this turn, and we actually improve. It's a great turn. Now we have a flush draw to go with our hand, but at this point I did not see a reason to continue betting. And the reason for that is, if villain has a draw, we are ahead, and yes, we give him a free card, but there's only one free card to come there, so I think it's okay to just check. And the other thing is, if he did slow play, or if he does have a queen or a jack, we might not get him off that at this point, and so I'd rather take my equity, also see what he does. If he comes out with a big bet, well, that gives me more information. If he checks back, then I feel pretty good about my hand, and then potentially we can see what we do on the river. So we check, and villain checks back, and now we go to this river, and it is the 5 of diamonds, so I would say this is a brick. Yes, I mean 3-6 and ace-3 get there, but unless he has ace-3 of spades exactly, I just don't see how he would ever really get there. So at this point we have a decision to make. Do we want to bluff, do we want to value bet, or do we want to check? Well, I think value betting is way too thin, absolutely not going for it. Bluffing, again, now with a flush having missed, I don't think a queen or even a jack fold, even if we go all in. We're not super deep at this point, only like not even 1.5 in terms of stack to pot ratio. If he has a missed flush draw, we're winning anyway, so we don't need to fold that one out. So I check, and the button thinks for a little bit and then comes out with a bet of 100 into this pot of 236. And this is the bluff catching thing that I mentioned at the beginning, which is so important as well to realize. Everything indicated that this is probably a bluff. And so first of all, he bets quite small here. I think if he did have a big hand, the token pocket deuces or queen jack, I think he would have been greedier either on the turn or now on the river. And the other thing is, I think a lot of recreational players would not bet for thin value here. They would be terrified after we check raise the flop. They would not go for a bet here with king queen, with queen 10, not even ace queen quite often. And so what else is this? Like, what value hands does he have? His biggest value hands would have been greedier most likely, and the other ones he would probably just check back. So this is actually an easier call than I even made it look at the table, even though everyone thought I was crazy to call with bottom pair. But it doesn't matter if you have a queen or a deuce, because it's the same thing. You're just beating bluffs and you're not beating anything else, but most likely he has a bluff, and we're getting such a good price here, better than 3-1, so we only have to be good less than 25%, and we are definitely good that often. We call here, he says good call, he had the missed flush draw, and we indeed scoop this big pot because we check raised as a bluff on the flop, and then bluff caught him on the river. And if you want to find out how to play multi-way pots from pre-flop all the way to the river, I will soon create a deep dive webinar on the topic. To be one of the first to hear about it, make sure to sign up for my free newsletter. Click on the link below or scan this QR code. But while bluffing in multi-way pots can be great, what you really need is a simple rule-based strategy to know exactly what to do in every spot. If you want to learn such a strategy, then watch this video next.